Good morning and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS, with your host, Bob Pace, and hang on to your children. Um, it's a warm welcome. I know a lot of you have been a part of my live stream for the last 18 months, and I've talked to over 1,500 people, 22 countries, and all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. And I'm here to help you with your CPS case. I too had a CPS case that was very traumatized to my family, and I've been fighting them for 15 years. Now, this morning, I'm open to suggestions of any topics you guys like me to talk about. Hello, out of the blue. I believe out of the blue is from, that must be Travis from Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome. And I had a little trouble getting on this morning. I do apologize. This time it wasn't the computer. It was my background. They had the wrong room for me. So my show producer, Grace, helped fix it for me. And I want to thank her for what she does and everything. So out of the blue, Travis, what would you like to talk about? Now, there's several things you can do in this live stream. One thing you can do is that you can text in a message. It can either be a comment or a question, and it should pertain to CPS. Please state your first name, your city or county, your state, and if you're outside the United States, your country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from the beginning to where you're at. Another way to interact is that you can be a guest of my live stream. And all you have to do is contact my show producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com with the date and time you want to be on our show. I'm on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. in the morning Pacific Standard Time. And then on the weekends, I'm on at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then in the evenings, I'm on Monday through Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll let you know if there's any changes, but typically those are my times. So you just pick one of those 14 shows and tell Grace in an email. It's grace@vincentwdavis.com. And you give her the time you want to be on the show, the time and date. So you say you want to be on Bob's Friday night show or Bob's Wednesday morning show or Bob's Tuesday night show. You pick it, and then what she'll do is she'll send you a link to get on the application I'm using called StreamYard. Now, this application, StreamYard, is broadcasting on YouTube. I have 7 Facebook rooms that are connected here that connect to this room here. So you found me on Facebook, Fight CPS. If you look up Fight CPS Bob Pace, you'll find me, and I have a Facebook page there. And so I'd love to have you be a guest. Another way that you can be on my show is to call me right now at 626-698-0990. My phone is ready, and I'm ready to take your phone call. And all you have to do is call in and talk about your case, and I help you. I help you on doing that. Now, it sounds like Travis has a little bit of sinus. But okay, you're just resting now. All right. But Travis is his daughter's missing. He's not seen her for a couple of months. He's worried that something's happened to her. So hopefully the things we suggested, such as filing a missing person report or contact them, would do something like that. So I'm also looking for my other members here too. So another thing you can do in this live stream is you can visit the Stan store. Now, the stand.store/attorney VWD is a website. You must start off with always https://stand.store/attorney Vincent W. Davis or VWD. And you'll get to the website, and there'll be a lot of things there for sale, lots of books. One of our latest new books is the Grandparents' Guide to Adopting Children. Let me put that up there. The Grandparents' Guide is a step-by-step guide to have grandparents adopt their grandkids. You go to that stand.store/attorney VWD. The book is $9.99, but you can use my discount code of PACE, capital P, capital ACE 50, and you'll get half off for the book. So it's less than $5. And as I say, it's a step-by-step guide. It's also good for parents that want to adopt children too. And or other people. Anybody kinship can adopt. Anybody can adopt somebody. You don't have to be family or not. So that's a really interesting website. Now, when you're on my live stream or you make a phone call, you're entitled to a free 15-minute private consultation with Mr. Davis. It's a Zoom meeting, and it's a private call. And you will get a chance to talk to a real attorney for 15 minutes. You make your list of questions, prioritize them, and then be a guest on my live stream. I can take up to 9 of you or call on the phone. And so that's one way to talk to Mr. Davis. Another way is you can, I've already talked about texting a message here. Let me see here. I'm trying to get my other one. Yeah. I have a special arrangement with Mr. Davis. He's my attorney. He's schooled in the areas of juvenile law, dependency law, and family law. Those 3 laws will help him in fighting CPS. He's done it for 39 years. He once was a foster kid himself, so he knows about foster children. And then also, he's a trial attorney, and he's done civil lawsuits against CPS and won millions of dollars. When your case is closed, he can sue. He's a pit bull of attorney. And right now, I got special arrangements with him for a 30-minute Zoom consultation for $60. All you have to do is go to another website, candly.com/apps, VWD/Bob Pace. Again, don't forget to type in https://. So that's good for a $60 for a 30-minute Zoom session. So there's several ways that you can talk to him on that. Now, another website is the main website, and that website is vincentwdavis.com. Hello, Tony the Tiger. And I know you're from New York. I remember that. Thank you for telling me that, Tony. And what do you have new for me there? Tony the Tiger, you have anything that you'd like to say? Okay, I've pretty much gone over my ground rules. I'm going to put my phone number back up. And let me see, where is it? Here it is. So there's my phone number, and I'd love to hear from you. I have another number there that's in red with white. It's 888-888-6582. That's the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. There you can reach a person that will talk to you. Make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And then when you see Mr. Davis, make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you. But at that office, you can find the schedule of when Mr. Davis and myself are doing live stream, or other people too. We have KK Richardson in New York that does one at 5. And then we have Deidre Pena on Wednesdays at 5 that does a live stream. We have other people too. So you can find Vincent does one at 6:30 in the morning, then another one on Saturdays at 10. And then sometimes he has office hours during the weekdays. So there's a lot of activities here and lots of numbers, lots of information for you to get there. Now I have a new person in here. We have right now, out of the blue, Tony the Tiger. Out of the blue is from Kansas City, Missouri. Tony's from New York. And how do we do that? You just type in the topic you want to talk about, Tony, and I will try to answer your question. So Colina Maybe, welcome. She's from Facebook. And so she says her mom was approved to foster children. Then 10 days later, the child protection system shows up to take away not only the kids that had an active case, but the kids my mom had guardianship as well. Oh no, this sounds terrible. All over false accusations that my sister was going to her parenting class and they made her go to with her daughter unsupervised, which she wasn't. I was always there, but how is that even my mom's fault when she handed over care to me who had been approved to supervise? Well, first of all, Colleen, I may need some more information, but it says that your mom is approved to foster children, okay? And then they took away her kids. I mean, how many kids are we talking about and the ages and so forth? And how do you fit in the picture? Are you a foster mom too? Or I know your mom has guardianship, and that is wrong with the false accusations, but I need more information. I'd love for you to call Colleen. Also, what part of the world are you from? I need to know your city or your county, your state, and if you're outside the United States, your country. So if you could tell me, that would be great, Colina. I'd like to help you as best as I can here. And again, warm welcome. Okay. Now, Tony said something. Tony says the 15-minute consultation it's with Vincent, with David. Not with David, with Vincent Davis. It's 15 minutes for free. All you have to do is call in and be a guest on my phone, or call in and be a guest on the show live stream. And I can take up 9 of you as a guest in live stream. But if you talk on the phone or talk on the live stream, then you're eligible for a 15-minute private consultation with Mr. Vincent W. Davis. And he'll talk to you for 15 minutes. You need to make a list of your questions and prioritize them. But that's how you do it, Tony. I'd like to see that. So Tony says, I just learned this whole due justice thing. What can I do if I believe my due justice has been violated and I told my lawyer I wanted to do something about it? Well, Tony, first of all, I don't know what kind of attorney do you have. Do you have a court appointed or a public defender, or did you hire a professional attorney that's schooled in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law? I need to know what kind of attorney you got. Also, if it's been violated, your attorney has to do something about it. Now, what were the violations? You need to be a little bit more specific, Tony. And also, Tony from New York. Okay. Tony says neglect. Okay. So you were charged with neglect. Now, how will you be neglected with your children? I say no, and poof, the lawyer's gone. Well, what do you mean no, and poof, the lawyer's gone? It was a public defender? And Colleen says 5. All right. Now, what does 5 mean in here? What did Colleen say? Who's 5, Colleen? Is it your sister's 5 or the foster care's um, is watching the kids of 5? I don't understand what 5 means. You need to help me out. I'm not very good at guessing games. Now you say, I told my lawyer I wanted to do something about it, but she just changes the subject and tries to convince me to take some kind of deal. Well, is she a court opponent or a public defender? You haven't answered my question. Okay, we got a call come in. Good morning and welcome to my live stream. I'm Bob Pace. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Colina. I was messaging you on Facebook.
Yeah, I know that. I saw that, Colina. What part of the world are you from?
So I'm from San Bernardino County, California.
Okay, so you're close to us. Good. And so your mom was approved as a foster mom, but she also has adopted children?
No, so what it is all 5 children are her grandchildren. Okay. This one particular CFS worker has been just on my sister's back since as long as I can remember. She called her, and literally I heard her say the words, "Remember me?" Like she just has it out for my sister. I don't know why, but
well, they do. They do. So, and San Bernardino's a bad county, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, 70 to 90 kids per one worker.
Yeah, that's really tough there. So these 5 children, are they all your sister's children?
Yes.
Okay, so your sister, who is she older than you or younger?
She's a little older.
Okay.
She's already lost 2 kids to the system that they've already been adopted out.
Well, did she have 7 children, or how many children did she originally have?
So she has 8 children. One of them is already an adult, and then she has 2 that have been adopted out. They took them right from the hospital, and then she has 5 others. Her youngest one is what kind of triggered this whole thing again. But her youngest one, what happened is she was given medication in the hospital that caused a false positive. Then she got transferred to another hospital, and they didn't relay that to the hospital. Well, the other hospital, like she took care of her daughter in the hospital, everything, and they released her with her daughter and stuff. Well, CPS worker that's been having it out for her since my other niece, who's now 12, she, I guess, found out somehow, and she called her. She's like, "Remember me?" And it's a long story, but I'll spare you the details. But
well, no. I just before we go much further, I'm trying to understand: is there a biological father involved?
No.
Did the mother have the same father with all 8 of her children?
No.
Okay.
But none of the fathers are involved.
None of the fathers are involved giving child support or anything?
No.
Okay. So she's been trying to raise these children. Now, the ages of these children, he said one's an adult and 2 of them have been adopted out. Now, was that a former CPS case when they were adopted?
Oh, those ones, yeah, they opened cases on her in the hospital.
Okay, so they've known about her, so she has a track record.
Right.
You see, for all your listeners, when you have a case open, it hangs with you forever. And so if you're a foster child, it even hangs on you when you grow up adult and have children, and they can come after you. So it's sad, but that's what they do.
Right. And that's what it's the same worker.
Yeah.
From years ago.
Yeah, and she has something against that lady.
She didn't even stand a chance. She didn't even look into how she was doing now, where she was at in her life, or nothing. She just assumed, And so basically, 2 of my sister's children, my mom, this is from when my sister was in a good place. My mom had obtained guardianship of them. They were babies. They're now 12 and 11 years old, or 13 and 11 years old.
Now, why did your mother why did your mother get guardianship? Because why? I mean, couldn't your sister take care of him, or she was unfit?
she was in a bad place at that time in her life, but
Okay.
she's come a long way since then. She was, using back then. She don't do that anymore. She's, you know what I mean, a great mom to her kids now. She's made tremendous changes in her life.
Okay.
And but my mom still has guardianship. The kids have been with her their whole life, the two. So, you know what I mean? Like, but my sister was living at my mom's and stuff. Of course, my mom had to kick her out because that's what CPS wanted. And so it was just like a big mess. We went through they told my mom she had to get approved to foster. We put a $3,000 wrought iron gate in the backyard for the pool. We put, safety features. I'm sure you know the list. It's like a mile long.
Right.
My mom did all the courses, everything.
But
And
why couldn't your sister why did your mom have to take care of the children? Is because of a CPS infraction? She was neglect or abusive?
My sister just didn't have nowhere to. My sister was living with my mom. So my sister was taking care of her kids.
So
with my mom's help.
So why did CPS interfere?
That's what I would like to know. You know what I mean? Like they came because of that. I guess because I honestly don't even know. Like I really don't. So, but
she must have been charged with something. I mean, was she charged with neglect or abuse?
No. Well, they're charging. The case isn't even about my sister. It's about my mom.
Well, I'm trying to understand about your mom, but we got to start with the biological parents, because the way CPS thinks, they always deal with the biological parents.
Well, it was all over that false positive at the hospital, okay? Which my sister.
Now, this false positive, was she using a drug, illegal drug? In her system?
The hospital gave her something. When she gave birth, she lost a lot of blood, and they gave her a medication that causes false positive. But my sister got the hospital records, and the paperwork even states on it, inconclusive positive. It says this cannot be used for legal purposes.
Oh, why can it not be used for legal purposes?
Like the test results, because it said inconclusive.
So that means more tests have to be done. Oh boy.
Or something. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, when it says not for legal purposes, she can't use it in court to show that it was a false positive. So.
But that's what CFS is using to say that she isn't able to have her kids or whatever. That's all they have on her.
Well, first of all, and you probably didn't know at the time, she could have gotten her medical doctor that run a test herself. The hospital run a test, but her own medical doctor, a primary care physician, will run a test too to see if they test positive. But it's too late now because that was a long time ago. So you're at a predicament, right?
Even my niece's, her test results came back negative. Like the baby.
Yeah.
Her test results were negative. You know what I mean? Like, so that just goes to show that it was a mistake. Because I mean, how could one have it and not the other when she just gave birth?
Yeah.
Plus, she was given blood. You know, who's to say that whatever it wasn't from the blood too? You know, like, because why would the baby not have anything, but then my sister all of a sudden did? You know, like, it's just really like crazy. But so. The CFS, 2 days after they approved my mom to foster, they show up in the middle of the night, pouring rain. They spotlight our whole house like we're freaking being raided, and they come and they take the kids out in the middle of the night.
Why did you answer the door?
They had a warrant.
Did you see the warrant? Did you see the warrant?
Yeah, they gave us the warrant. Yes, sir.
Did you read the warrant? Did it show the correct date? It wasn't see, sometimes they reuse old warrants, so that's why.
Well, they were warrants that they obtained over the phone from the judge.
No, you have to have it in writing.
They had the judge's signature. They had his signature.
Okay.
But they made me put my niece in a car seat. It wasn't even safe. And then my niece sends us a text message of a picture of the social worker tuxing and driving in the pouring rain down a 2-lane highway while taking them to the office. after they made me put my niece in a car seat that wasn't even safe. I tried to give them ours and they wouldn't take it. Like, it was just crazy. Like, and then they just took away my visits. Like, the one worker found out I got visits from the phone call that we had with the other workers and the lawyers and everybody. We all agreed to these visits. And then the one worker calling all the shots finds out that I got these visits with my kids and their cousins, you know, and she takes them away.
Well, it all boils down to the one mistake there. And by the way, before I get back to you, I do want to tell Tony the Tiger, who's from New York, is that I can help you with a lawsuit, Tony. You can sue CPS if the CPS case is closed. If your case is closed, you can sue them. And you can sue them for a violation of your constitutional and civil rights. And I'll talk more about that, Tony. But I want to get back to Colleen, who's called in. Now, Colleen, at the moment, what was your last court date? What was that? When was that?
We go to trial May 5th.
No, but what was your last court date?
It was on the 19th, not this month, but
March.
March
19th. And what was the purpose of that court hearing?
They took the kids on February 13th.
Okay. Now, did they?
And sorry, go ahead.
Did they have a place for the kids to stay? They have.
They're with a family member.
Okay.
We were able to manage that, thank God.
All right. So, the last court date in March, what was that all about?
They just postponed it. They wanted to interview my mom, and because my mom wanted her lawyer present, they said, "Oh well, we can't interview you until right after the court."
Okay. Hearing. So when is the next? So when is the next court date?
On May 5th. That's the
okay.
Day we go to trial.
Is that a continuation?
My mom has a lawyer, but I feel like, you know, I'm kind of like on the outskirts of this all, but yet I'm like in the middle of it in a sense. I don't know. It's kind of complicated, but because what this whole thing is over is that I was taking my niece, my 1-year-old niece, to my sister's parenting classes. I was meeting her there, and because she was allowed to bring her daughter. And so I even walked in, I asked the teacher, I said, is it okay for me to hand over care to you to supervise the visit and stuff? Because this is a teacher that they sent us to, you know? Like, so it's a parenting class that they work side by side with. And so I was like, is that okay? Like, I don't want to get in trouble, you know, because I'm supposed to be supervising these visits. And the teacher was like, oh, absolutely. Like, you know, no, that's perfectly fine. She's like, you know, as long as you're not late. I was like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm just going to be in the car waiting for class to get out. Okay. And she was like, okay. I was like, you know, and so it's all over that. That's what this whole thing's over. Is they said that I allowed her to be with her daughter unsupervised, which I didn't, you know. But okay. I mean, I guess if the teacher wasn't an okay thing, then that's my fault. But how is any of that my mom's fault? You know what I mean? To take her kids away, like the kids she has guardianship of, you know?
Yeah. Where is your attorney through all this? Or is it, I should say, your mom's attorney or what? I mean,
yeah, he's working. He's actively, you know, keeping up and stuff. But it's like, I just feel like, you know, I just wanted to call in because I don't have an attorney. I'm not even the one that's involved. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the court hearing's not even about me. Yeah, I'm the one who's, like, got my visits taken away. And I'm the one that's, you know, my kids are, like, crying at night because they don't get to see their cousins. And you know, what's really messed up is when they came and took the kids, my mom knew what was happening. And my kids were at her house at the time. And I was at the store getting dinner. And she knew that they would take my kids too, so she tells my kids to go out the back door. You know, my kids were hiding in the pouring rain, you know, scared to death in the middle of the night. They're like so traumatized. It's just like, you know, but if she wouldn't have done that, they would have took my kids too, you know. And it's just like, it's just this whole county, the whole system, it's corrupt. It's like so bad, and it's just like, you know, I've made a choice to fight, you know, we're gonna get the kids back. I don't doubt it because I won't rest until I do. But I don't want other people to just keep happening. You know what I mean? Like, I want something to change, and I'm just one voice, but I'm gonna speak up for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, this county is corrupted so bad. Like,
Yes,
so
Bakersfield
bad.
is. I agree with you on that.
It's unbelievable, and people like you, and there's a few others I've come across. I mean, I really commend you guys for what you do, because somebody's got to stand up for these people. They go after the low income. They go after the people who have
Well,
no
they
money.
know you can't get an
court,
attorney to fight them. That's the problem. And unless you get a real attorney, you can't
My mom
fight
gets treated differently than everybody in that courtroom because she has a private lawyer. They treat her different than everybody. The only thing highlighted on the paperwork is the lawyer's name.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not used to it. They go after the low-income people, the people who have no money to defend themselves.
Right. I agree.
And it's crazy. It's crazy.
I agree. So with this upcoming continuation of this court hearing, they're going to want to talk to your mother about what?
They're putting all of us on trial. They're putting my mom's lawyer. He said, make a list. He said, I'm putting everybody on trial. He said, I'm going to make everybody come on the stand. He's going to subpoena all of anyone involved, because it's that ridiculous of a case. Like,
But is this a public defender, or is he a real attorney?
No. We paid $10,000 for him.
Okay, but is he trained in the background of dependency law and family law and juvenile law?
Yes.
And he has fought CPS.
Yes.
Good. You're one of the fewest people I've talked to that's got the right attorney. And
we prayed a lot.
Yeah, I know. And is he a local
his name is,
attorney? You don't have to give me his name. I don't need his name.
Okay.
Is he local?
He's from Hollywood.
So he's from down here. Okay. Did you ever consider Vincent Davis?
I was speaking. I watched his
live stream
thing this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him via just messages, but that's why when I said that there's a few other come across, I was mostly referring to him. Yeah.
Yeah. He does that at 6:30 in the morning, so that is good.
Yeah, that's when I was up with my kids getting ready for school.
Yeah, he does that at 6:30 in the morning.
But I can't believe, like, how many stories I've come across, and how many. Yeah. I'm just so my stomach is just churned from the things I've read.
It's emotional upheaval with me. Would you like to speak to Mr. Davis for free for 15 minutes?
I think I could reach out to him.
Well, no, because you called in, you're entitled to a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. And all you have to do is say, yes, I'd like to speak to him. And then I will get a hold of my show producer and arrange a private Zoom consultation with you and Mr. Davis. Now, my question is that I need you to text me the same number you call me in. You need to text me your full name, your email, and your phone number. That's all you have to do. And I'll do the rest. And my show producer, Grace, will contact you with the date and time with Mr. Davis.
Awesome. That would be cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so that's all you have to do in that part. Now, with this case as it is, what is your lawyer that you're hiring from Hollywood? What is your lawyer expectations of what's going to happen in this upcoming court hearing?
I think that he's pretty confident that the kids will be returned. If we have a social worker who is very kind to us, who has told my mom that the kids, her plan and her lawyer's plan is to return the kids on the 5th. But everything that she says, then she says, I have to ask, the social worker that's calling the shots. And then it always ends up, changing the answer. You know what I mean?
Right.
This worker's just got it out for us. She just does not like us.
Right. Now, you don't have any children yourself?
I do. I have 3.
Now, where are those children?
They're with me.
And CPS is not investigating you.
No, you know what? Before all this happened, I was in a car accident, and they did investigate me because of the car accident because my daughter was in the car, and
Okay.
I was at fault for the accident. And
Oh, boy.
they closed the case. They closed it right away. You know.
Okay. Okay. Is your daughter okay?
Yes, she's okay. Yeah.
And you're okay, right?
Yes. Yes.
Good.
We're okay.
Okay. Okay.
It
Now,
was just a bad day.
with your 3 kids, you live with your mom, who at one time had 8. Now she's down to 5.
No, she's down to 0.
Well, okay, but she still has 5 that she's guardianship.
Oh, no, she never had 8. I mean, unless you're counting my kids, then.
Well, no, I was counting the one that grew up to be an adult, the 2 that were taken from her for adoption. Pardon?
No, my sister raised all her kids. My sister raised all of them, but 2. But the 2 my mom has guardianship of.
Okay, I'm okay. I know there's 8 children plus your 3. There's 9, 10, 11 children total.
Right.
Okay.
But 2 of them were taken at birth, so my sister never had any.
They're not your mom's. They're her grandchildren. They're taken at birth.
They were taken and adopted out. Yes.
At birth.
My mom was sick at the time, so she couldn't fight for them.
Okay. So her grandbabies were taken at birth from your sister.
Yeah, and I don't even know them.
Oh, okay. And the oldest is grown up. Is he still in touch with the family?
She is, yes.
Okay. All right.
She's actually very close to her mom.
Oh, okay. You're her sister.
You'll have to check out the video on my Facebook page if you get time. It tells the whole story.
Wow.
And it shows the kids and everything, and it'll give you a better insight. It's just a video that I've created, but it'll really help you understand.
Right. Well, I'm glad you got yourself a good attorney. That's really one of the weaknesses most people get. So, with that being said, I'm pretty sure he'll perform you if he's, what you said, he's qualified and everything on there.
Yeah.
But you can't trust CPS. They really are.
I don't.
Really are. They lie. They cheat. They retaliate. They steal.
They changed everything that we said. They twisted everything we said. In the minute I was like laughing because I couldn't believe the way that they twisted our words. It was crazy.
That's why I tell people don't talk to social workers, because they'll use that against you.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And I
we
tell
have
them,
no idea. You know?
I tell them, don't open the door, be quiet. And then get yourself an attorney, and he or she will tell you what to do next. But a lot of people open the door, and a lot of people let their children be taken.
Yeah, it was hard, but they showed up with multiple police cars, and I don't think that there was any way out of it, really.
Well, no, they do the intimidation factor. The police are supposed to protect the social workers, not to intimidate the parents.
You know what really got me is that the police officer had the nerve to look my nephew in the eyes and tell him, "Don't worry, son, you'll be home soon."
Yeah.
And it's just like.
Well, they do that.
He will be home, but
they do that to diffuse the. They do it for 2 reasons. Like, 1, to get you to cooperate, and 2, they want to diffuse the escalation.
Well, it's like, to me, that's like, for him to say that is showing that he doesn't see any real reason why they should even be leaving.
Yeah.
Obviously he doesn't see, you wouldn't tell a child who you thought was being beat or neglected that you're going to bring them back to the place they're being beat. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Right, that would scare the child, right?
Right.
So obviously that just shows that that's not the case, It's just crazy. This whole system is so broken.
I want to welcome. I want to welcome a new person, Kelly Fisher. Hi, Kelly from Chicago. Glad to see you. Glad to see you, Kelly. And so we got Tony the Tiger who wants to do a lawsuit. You can do that. and you need to get an attorney. Vincent Davis is one of those. So, Tony, in New York, Vincent would come out there and do a lawsuit for you. And I could get a price on the retainer, but you got to let me know some more particulars, Tony. And Kelly, what do you want from Chicago? I think you've been on before. What is your case about, Kelly? I have Colleen, who's been talking to me from Bakersfield. And
no, from San Bernardino County.
I'm sorry, from San Bernardino County. It was someone else I was talking to from San Bernardino County, who has a custody battle going on with her mom's adopted sister's children. I know that's kind of confusing, but
they're not adopted. Yeah. She just had guardianship.
Okay, I should say guardianship. Well, yeah, guardianship. Okay. Was it legal guardianship or just guardianship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it was legal.
Okay. All right. So she had guardianship.
Yeah.
And so that way she could take care of the children while they grow up and so forth.
Yeah. So my one nephew, he's 17. He's going into the military next year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that his choice?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he wants.
Okay.
He's a good kid. Good kid. They're all good kids,
Okay. Okay.
Crazy. I got like a book of over 150 awards just from their, lives growing up. All the awards that they've gotten.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
They're good kids. It's like they were perfectly happy kids, and now it's sad because it's like now they're so sad. They just want to come home. And it's just these people are monsters, man.
I agree.
And I feel for all the people listening, and I don't want to take any time away from other people. I appreciate you talking with me and stuff, but I hope that everybody listening just hangs in there and keeps fighting. Because I think that if enough people stand up together, then somebody's got to listen.
Well, supposedly social services is being investigated by Doge, and hopefully they'll find out how they're spending a lot of the money and a lot of the corruption in CPS. Hopefully they find out. And
have you ever heard of A Better Childhood?
No, never heard of that. What is that?
If you look it up, it's a nonprofit organization I came across that they pretty much they voice out for foster children who can't defend themselves. And they go after the agencies, responsible, and they file lawsuits. Well, they have an active lawsuit against San Bernardino County right now, where they deemed them too broken to fix because they are placing kids in homes with known sex offenders. They're placing kids in homes that don't speak the same language they do. It's crazy. There's an article on their website. It's A Better Childhood. And if you go to their website, there's a section that says Our Work. You go to it, you click on San Bernardino County, and it's actually all states, because I don't know if you know this, but California is the only state whose welfare agencies are based on count by the county rather than the state. And so it'll be listed a bunch of states, and then you'll see San Bernardino County. So we're the only county that they are actively suing. And there's an article on there, and it will blow your mind. It's absolutely just stomach churning. It's crazy. I can't even express how crazy it is. You have to read it. But yes, it's called A Better Childhood. But it's a nonprofit organization that pretty much sticks up for kids who can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for talking with me. I appreciate you, everything you do, and I hope you continue to do it.
Oh, I have been doing this now for 18 months. It's a pretty long time. I'm talking. Go ahead.
Do you have a donation place on your page?
Well, there is stars. You could send stars. If you want to specifically go to me, you have to say my name on there. But there are stars you can send.
Okay, I will do that.
There's stars, the emojis. I think they're called stars, but. You can do that and then list my name on there. So
okay.
Let me see. I did look up the founder, Marcia Robinson Lowry, and she's the one that founded that system that you're talking about. But anyway, don't forget to send me your full name, your email, and your phone number so I can set you up with
I
your
will.
free consultation with Mr. Davis. You can make a list of your questions, prioritize them, and ask away. It's not very often you get a free consultation with a really one of the top um, CPS attorneys, fighters of the CPS in the country.
Yes, you're very good.
So
I do watch them quite often, so
well,
I appreciate it very much.
this time you get there, and when you do talk to him, tell him that you talked to Bob Pacey, mentioned to tell you that. And so,
I will.
is there anything else you need to ask or need to know?
No, you're wonderful. Thank
All
you
right.
so much for
Well,
giving me your time.
thank you for your time, Colina. I hope that you continue to be part of my family on here. I'm on twice a day, as I tell everybody, 14 times a week, and I've been doing this for 18 months. I've not missed a day yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Thank
anyway,
you so much. You have a
yeah, good luck, and don't keep fighting. Keep fighting and don't give up.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I live for these kids, man.
All right. Thank you, Colina. All right. Bye-bye.
Take care. God bless.
Bye-bye. God bless. Okay, that was a nice listener from San Bernardino County, Colina Maybe. Wow. That's a lot of children. She has 3. Her mom, I guess, had a total of 8. One's grown up, 2 are adopted out, and there's 5 more, and they're all from her other daughter. So it's kind of an interesting way of a family, but I think it's great. And thank you for the prayers there, Travis, out of the blue from Kansas City, Missouri. Now, Kelly, what is your question? Do you have a question? Tony, the Tiger, you can call in at 626-698-0990, and we can talk about the civil lawsuit on your CPS case, Tony. So I'd love to do that. Thank you for the hearts, the emoji hearts. That's really sweet of you guys. Philistine Gibson is from Canada. And then we have Christina Renznoza, who's been here a long time from California. And thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate that, guy. And Christina, thank you for the thumbs up. So we're getting close to the tail end of my show. I'm going past 11 o'clock a little bit because my show started late through no fault of my own. They had trouble with the backdrop and my screening that is on there. So we got all sorted out and fixed anyway. So anyway, I have a little bit of time left. I can take a call in right now. Let me see here. We just had a ring from somebody. Let's see what that is. Okay, I think that's probably Colleen. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, that was Colleen who just gave the information. Anyway, there are 5 rules that I've made, and I've talked them on and on and on again. And just repeat them. Rule number 1 is you got to get an attorney. The right kind of attorney is going to be a juvenile law, family law, dependency law attorney, and someone who has fought CPS. And you must have an attorney. Fighting CPS is like open heart surgery. You need someone who's capable of doing the work. Capable of doing the work. Rule number 2 is documentation. Documentation. Get a notebook. Load it with all your papers. Get subject dividers. And then an important document is called the time log incident timeline. The timeline or time log incident. And it's just a blank sheet of paper with lines you get college rule, and then you start off and you devote 3 lines to each incident. The first line is going to be the location, phone number, the date and time the involvement was, and who was involved. Then the second line is a summary of what the incident's about. The third line is the outcome of the incident. If you don't know it, you can fill it out later. Anyway, you do that for every incident and you get really filled up fast and you'll be able to remember, because a lot of times as time goes on, it gets fuzzy and fuzzier with memories. Now, rule number 3 is the do not talk to social workers or the police. Don't let them in your home. Remember, if you don't know the person, you're not obligated to open that door. That door is your castle, the drawbridge up. You need to be quiet if they come knocking. And then right away, you got to find out who it was. And if it was the police or CPS, that should trigger you that you need to get an attorney aboard. You find an attorney that will handle your case. And then now, it looked like to me I have 8 minutes left of the 1 hour show. I know it's after 11 o'clock, and my trouble is that the live stream was delayed because the backdrop in my room wasn't right. And again, I apologize for that. So, as I said, rule number 3 is you don't talk to them let in. They have to have your permission to get into there. So you don't want to give them your permission. You don't know who these people are. You don't want to budge an inch there. Like a fool, when it's my case, I allowed them in. I should never have. And if you happen to encounter them outside, very easily say hello to them. And if they want to meet with you, say, I need to get my attorney first, and then we'll get back to you. So take their phone number and, of course, call your attorney and tell he or she will tell you what to do. Okay? On that. That's rule number 3. Now, there's another part called, hold on a second here. My battery's getting low here. Hold on one second here. Been having trouble with the batteries here. It says here, there we go. There's a wiring here that you have to hold the wiring a certain way here. This computer's got to stop. I got to get a new computer. Even my son's computers are thrashed because of the roughness of it. So they have to get a new power supply. So anyway, let me see if it's charging right now. I think it's charging right now. It's brighter. Okay. Okay, it's 5% power. See if it goes up more. We may have to shut down if I lose power. And I hate that happened there. I do want to thank Travis for taking the time from Kansas City, Missouri, for being in the room. Kathy, Kelly Fisher from Chicago. Thank you very much, Chicago, Illinois. And then I want to thank Tony the Tiger, and he's from New York, in a small town, I guess, west of I forgot, west of something here. I think it's called Otago. Probably begins with an O. And Tony, if you could call in, you get that free 15-minute with Mr. Davis. New York. He's from Oneto, New York. Okay. And Colleen, who's from Bakersfield, was our guest on the show that talked tonight. Thank you, Colleen, for taking the time to call in there. Let's see now. Do we up another percent here? Okay, looks like the power. Okay. It's nothing, looks like it's charging. I don't know why, but it's not charging. Anyway, I want to thank you all for following me, and I'll be on tonight at 10 o'clock, at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know why I said 10 o'clock. That's really late. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I want to see all of you again. Again, keep fighting for your children. Do not forget to keep fighting for them. God bless you. And this is Bob Pace signing off.